our goal is to make this company like a multiple of this current valuation. Usually investors in startups and ventures, they're expecting the exit. In our case, I think our main priority is not the exit, but is to build a very profitable business. I mean, right now we're at 1.2 million revenue. This year will be like around 2 million. Our goal is to build 100 million plus revenue company, and I believe we can do that. So the first part is to reach profitability. And if we reach profitability, then we want also to reward our investors with dividends. So that's our first priority. And both of the products, the events business plus the Doers United, will be revenue-led products.
Styliane, we are a couple of weeks after Reflect Festival. Have you managed to recover yet from the big event?
I'm in the process of recovering, me and my team, and now is the time for reflection to see what we did well, what things we can improve.
In that spirit, so what is the top thing you think you did well at the event, and what is the thing that didn't go to plan, for example?
Yes, the theme of this year's event was Doers Against All Odds. We had a lot of challenge actually to face during a few days before the event. It was an unexpected windstorm in Limassol. That is something that is not usual here in Cyprus. So it partly destroyed one of our main stages. However, in a matter of 2 days, we managed to restore everything. And I have to say that the experience was as expected, maybe even better for some people, because we had the plan to do a blackout stage. In the end, we did it like a summer stage, an outdoor stage, and I think also people loved this experience as well.
Is there a thing that went surprisingly well, for example, at the event, something that went well that you didn't expect?
Yeah, I think every year we realize how impactful events are, not just our event, but meeting people in real life. And we see the impact, I would say, post-event. We see like startups raising money, co-founders meeting for the first time, like companies finding customers. And this, I think, it begins at our event, and then we see the impact within the year.
Within the year, I mean, it's usually it doesn't happen straight after the event. You need some time for the relationship to grow and build, right?
Yes, I mean we feel the momentum. We see, I mean, people are quite satisfied. We see the mentions in the social media, our partners' experience and feedback, the positive feedback. Yes, but it takes us some time to recover first, reflect, and then actually evaluate the impact of every event we're doing.
Yep. All right, so Styliane, Behind the Pitch podcast here at Crowdbase is the purpose of it is for investors to get a better insight into the team behind the project, the story behind the project, and then possibly get information that they cannot find online on our campaign page, on your website, on our website. So in that spirit, let's start from the beginning. So you did information technology at UCL as a bachelor's, and then you did a master's at Cambridge. Take me from the university up until what happened next.
I'll take you a bit before the university, I would say. So while I was a student, I started my first business in my teenage years. Then I went to the military. And
sorry to interrupt you, but you started your first business. What was it?
Actually, it was around media. It was around social media. Back then, there was no one into social media, at least here in Cyprus. It was 2008, 2007, 2008. I think I was the first person which I was evangelizing the power of social media. I remember I was going to companies.
When did Facebook come up?
2004. I think it was like 4 or 5 years after that. So I created a Facebook page back then. It grew, became like the most followed page in Cyprus with over 200,000 followers.
Nice.
And I was going to different companies and I was telling about Facebook. They were telling me, what is Facebook? So I was trying to explain what Facebook is, how they could use Facebook for their businesses. And that's how I started basically. And this was my first
Your first debut to the entrepreneurial journey, let's say? Or?
Yes, my first of many. And then I started a platform where you could discover villages in Cyprus while I was in the army. And you could walk through using VR technology back then. Yes, and then after the army, I went to London. I think I was more of a part-time student and full-time entrepreneur.
Okay.
So I was trying also different ventures, startups. Majority of them failed. And have utilized my first profit from my media business back then. It was the profit-driven, let's say, business. And I started investing in 2013, 2014 in real estate. So I went all in Limassol. So
this was after the university?
Yeah, so I graduated around 2014.
14, okay.
And then I also went to Cambridge in 2015.
What was the master's you did?
It was a postgraduate in entrepreneurship, even though I don't believe that you can learn entrepreneurship like through academics.
You learn by doing.
You need by doing,
yes, exactly.
And yes, and then I started investing in real estate. I was...
So you finished university, the master's in London, in Cambridge, sorry. You came back to Cyprus immediately?
Yes. So
there are lots of Cypriots that study in the UK, and when they finish their studies, they stay there, most of them at least, and get some experience, work in London, in the high-paced London, for example, and then come to Cyprus and bring all their experiences back. What made you come back to Cyprus right away?
For me, I mean, I knew it from day one that even, I mean, when I was at the university, I would come back once I finished. It was a very difficult time for Cyprus. It wasn't the logical thing to do because it was a financial crisis. But I really wanted to come back because I believe that, you know, like this country needs more entrepreneurs, people who do things. I was very young, but even my small contribution, I think it contributed to the local ecosystem back then. And yes, and I came back, and I'm very grateful for this decision because I feel that also my community and my country is rewarding me. So I got in very early in real estate where the prices were very low. So whatever funds I had, I went all in a very risky market back then. And then I was also lucky enough to do some exits, some flips in real estate. In total, I did 5 different exits in real estate. And every time I was doing an exit, I was going all in again. All in. And people were questioning. A lot of people weren't believing in the Cyprus real estate market. But it worked. And currently, my holding company will have a portfolio of 17 properties in the old city of Limassol. I call what we do meaningful real estate because we don't do the typical development. So we buy an old listed building, abandoned building, we restore it. For example, Heart Hotel was an old building. It took us 4 years to get the planning permission, then 2 years to restore it, and now for the past 2 years, it's operating as a boutique hotel in the city. Why I'm saying this is because I always had this long-term mindset. I know that success doesn't come in days, weeks, or a year. It takes like decades. And since my first business until today, you know, I always believe that you need to wait. You need to build long-term partnerships, long-term, you know, even friendships in order to achieve any kind of success.
Okay.
So this is my real estate business, and I'm very grateful I had this because without it, I wouldn't have the capacity and the resources to actually do do Reflect Festival for the first time and reach the level that Reflect Festival, the Doers Company now is.
So you started with the real estate since you came back, and since then you've built a portfolio of 17 real estate properties. What else besides real estate?
Yeah, so my holding company, it's real estate. We had also one project with e-government, so we also completed this project. And also I tried multiple of things, I mean, even from technology startups in the past. But I would say every single, even business in real estate, I don't think I'm in the real estate business only because every property has a business. For example, as I told you before, the boutique hotel is a business. You need to build it from scratch. I didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't know anything about hospitality. And now we have one of the most well-rated boutique hotel, not only in Limassol, but also in Cyprus. So you need actually to build business around real estate. Or for example, another space, which is office, which is also hosting the Doers Company. We build it as a co-working space. So it's another also venture, I would say, right? So another project I will mention also that is launching now, it's a space for short-term accommodation that basically is very modular. So you press one button, the bed comes down or it's elevated. So it has these interesting concepts, which these are different ventures.
That are born out of the real estate. So you tried multiple things. Were you consciously building towards something bigger, or did it all converge later?
Yeah, so I really believe in serendipity. One day, as I was driving with my good friend Dusan, that we studied together at university, we also started the company. We raised some money. It was around conversational AI. It was really bad timing. And even though it failed, what I am proud of is that we managed to return the investment back to our investors, even it was a failed startup. And then we were driving from Limassol to Nicosia, and we're discussing, and very spontaneously we said, let's do an event. You know, we didn't know anything about events. And in 3-4 months, we organized the first Reflect, back then was called Reflect Conference.
Okay.
Not a festival, because it was really small. It was 200 people in a room at one hotel in Limassol. And basically our friends, close network, family came. And we started seeing the first impact.
So the idea for that first event came in that conversation on the way to...
Yes, it was very spontaneous decision. Let's do it. And that was and many things in life, you just need the initiation, right?
You just need to do it.
Just do it. Yeah, Nike. So we did it. And then the second year, because we really liked the experience, and also we were very fascinated back then about AI, it was the new technologies. We said, let's do it for ourselves, right?
What are the lessons learned from the first event? Like what went well, what went well, what went wrong, and what did you take into consideration to improve upon for the next iteration?
The realization, I think, is that we realized back then that when you bring the right people in real life together, magic happens, and we have started seeing this impact back then. I think like many, for the first event, now with my experience, we did a lot of production mistakes, we faced a lot of challenges back then. We didn't know anything about event. For us, at 200 people event, it looked like super difficult, which now I feel is a piece of cake to organize a 200 people event. And then the second year, we did it one more time. So we had 1,500 people coming. So it
from the second year,
yeah.
So like that's 5-7x
bigger. We did it in the old city of Limassol at Carop Mill, and we saw like also 5 times bigger impact back then.
Nice.
And we said, okay, there's something there. Still, this is a side project, a hobby, not a business, right?
So 2018 was the first one, 2019 was the second one.
2020, we were planning to do something much bigger in the same location, but COVID hit. So we did a very small online. It was like there was physical spaces like in the city, but around 100 people, and we had 3,000 people connecting online. And I have to say, I hate online events. I don't like it at all, and it's not cannot be compared to the real life events
for sure.
And in 2021, because of COVID, we said we had to innovate a bit. So we introduced a city immersive event experience. And I remember around 3,000 people came with their masks, 3,000 to 4,000 people. And we did it for the first time in the old city, around the old city of Limassol at the old ports. And it was the first time we were constructing stages ourselves. So everything was DIY using scaffolding and other materials. In 2021, we repeated it and was slightly bigger. In 2022, the same. In 2023 was one of our biggest events, with 8,000 people participating in the heart of Limassol. And I think that event was the springboard of what came next.
This is a tech and an entrepreneurship event.
Yes, it was technology and entrepreneurship event. And still, until 2023, I don't call it a business, right? Also, we have been investing a lot ourselves. to support it, and we're doing it most like for the community. That wasn't a profit-driven venture. Also back then we had limited support from the authorities, from the government, but we still kept going. And
so you got their attention.
Yes, and I think that year we started building really good team in 2023. And in 2024 was our biggest event in a new location at the Cola Factory here in Limassol with 10,000 people. And and became one of the biggest, or maybe the biggest of
Those
our
are
region.
Some insane numbers for Cyprus standards. I mean, especially for this specific theme of an event, you wouldn't expect like 5 or 10 years ago. If I asked you, would you expect to have an event of 10,000 in Cyprus?
Yes, we went against all the odds, and and the interesting thing is that in 2024, around 2,500 people came from abroad. And this, I think, is a very important metric. And once we finished the event, we decided, actually just a few weeks before organizing the 2024 event, because we have been investing a lot of time in this. I also took the personal decision, either, we do it big, since we're putting so much time, we build something big out of it, or let's not do it at all, right? So still we haven't been making any profit, even though the revenue was doubling year after year. And then we formed our company, which is called the Doers Company, with the vision to become something bigger than just Reflect Festival.
Okay, so it was Reflect Festival up to that point. Then you created the company. What was the next step? Elevate Summit?
Yes, the next step was to organize a real estate and prop tech event out of my personal interest of real estate. And we did the first one in October 2024 with big success. Over 2,000 people came. And it was the establishment of a new brand, Elevate Summit, that we're also planning to continue.
Okay.
And after the end of this event, we said, okay, we see so many people coming from abroad. Cyprus has some limitations with the connectivity of flights, for example. And we decided to do something in Athens. Athens is a global city with connectivity, direct flights from the US, for example.
Of course.
So we created a new brand called Doers Summit, and it's one of our flagship events as well. We did it in Athens. 2,000 people came. We tried to not go big from day one. We wanted to test the waters. We got very big and important partners for us from Greece, including National Bank of Greece, Endeavor Greece, Scrooge, so a unicorn in Greece. And we focused more on founders, investors, and operators. That was our key audience. And already we announced the dates for next year's event in Athens, and we're going much bigger. We're targeting 6,000 individuals, but most importantly is to bring the right people, not just 6,000 people. We want to focus on on our quality and their core audience. So this was about the events business, and also it has helped us to increase our revenue. For example, with just one event in 2021, a half event, I would say, because it was a Reflect Festival, which was our biggest event. And then we started the first version of Elevate Summit. We ended up the year with 1.2 million euro, which was double than the year before of 600,000 euro.
Nice.
And now with the new brands, we're expecting to increase exponentially our revenue from the events business. And something that we haven't announced yet, we're introducing also 2 new brands and also more cities, new cities in our
So talk to me about your events portfolio. So you have Reflect Festival, you have Elevate Summit, you have Doers Summit.
Yeah.
How do these events connect with each other? How do you think about adding new events into the portfolio? How do you decide whether to double down on an event or just scratch it and move on?
Yeah, I think one important parameter is the geography. I think our region is very emerging, not just the part of Europe, but also in the Middle East. Cyprus has a very strategic role to play, I believe, in this. Is the bridge, the connector. And always I say that we are the only Middle Eastern country that is in the European Union. So there are multiple of benefits. Soon we're going to announce an event in Middle East with strategic partners. We haven't announced anything yet, but we'll do in few weeks, I hope. And yes, one is the geography. The second one is, I believe, the industry. And we've seen, okay, Reflect is more agnostic. So it's our event that is more, let's say, generic. Then we have Doers Summit that is more focused on founders, investors, operators, and building these relationships with these decision makers, how we call them. Okay, real estate obviously is a thriving sector also in Cyprus,
Especially
but
Cyprus.
I believe it's also very disconnected with the technology sector. I mean, especially in Cyprus. So we wanted to create an event that we bring the tech players and the real estate players together, because the tech sector, I believe, is the only sector that is a multiplier to all the other sectors, including real estate.
Of course.
So that was our initial motivation. But at the same time, we see amazing prop tech technologies, real estate technologies that can be utilized by the real estate players here on the island and beyond.
Okay, nice. So investors are investing in the Doers Company. So you have the events portfolio.
Yes.
But now you are introducing something more. So you've seen, I've heard you say multiple times that you've seen from events that connections are being made those 24 hours, 48 hours, 1-2 days at the event, and then they stop. So you thought of a way to keep the connections happening throughout the year.
Yeah.
And this is Doers United.
Yes.
For someone that has no idea who Stylianos is, what the Doers Company is, okay, how does Doers United work?
Yes.
What is
before explaining you about the Doers United, the Doers Company, we want to position it that we're not in the event business. Actually, we're a platform of creating impact. We're a community-driven company. So the events are there. So it's part of our offering, right? So the in real life experience, how we call it. Now we're leveraging technology so we can make networking, these connections more meaningful. So in 1 minute, what Doers United is. Doers United has been always our community. So we always called our events community Doers United. So now what we're doing, we're building one platform where it's our ecosystem. So everything will happen in that technology, in that platform, either on web or on mobile, on apps. And there are two core features. One, you can interact with our what we call super connector. It's an AI agent, so you can converse with it, talk to it, so it can understand your needs and your goals. And once we find people who are relevant, we're basically suggesting you that you should meet, let's say, Stylianos. And if you opt in the matchmaking, and I also accept, then a warm email intro written by AI is sent to both of you through email. Why email? Because it's the most common use that you introduce someone. Later we can implement WhatsApp and other ways, other channels. So we initiate this relationship. That's the first feature. But I think one of the features that will have even bigger impact are the events we're doing, the in real life experiences. So the same way that it spots the one-to-one relationships, it can spot 1 to 10, let's say, relationships. So it can automatically create an event in the cities that were launched, automatically book the venue for 10 people, let's say a dinner in Limassol for 10 individuals, for 10 doers. And then it invites 30 people who are relevant for that dinner. Let's say it's fintech growth, fintech founders and investors who are investing in this kind of companies. And then it invites, and the people, everyone in the app is in the community is qualified and vetted. So this is really important. We feel that every single person is in our community, and then these people are meeting in person. Our vision is to host thousands of events on a monthly basis in multiple cities. It's a very scalable way. We're utilizing data, the beauty of AI that can automate a lot of parts of the event organization. And at the same time, on our app, we call it a super app for doers. You can also purchase our community clothing, which is called Doers United. I'm wearing it now.
Still waiting for my merch.
Yes, I will agree. You are sold out at Reflect. And
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
So you said
Yeah.
that this community is vetted, is created.
Yes, yeah.
How do you vet? What is the criteria?
So there's an application process. So once you download the app or on web, there's a wizard that you add your information, your LinkedIn, etc.
There's kind of like an onboarding, for
Yes,
example.
and then we have with the use of AI, we can rate it. Okay, we can say this is fully disqualified or is let's say qualified.
But what are you looking for to see?
Yes, I'll tell you. And then we have our doers, the humans doers in our company. That actually we do the final approval or decline of the members. Our audience is founders, investors, and operators at any stage, at any company. I mean, any stage,
any level
of a company. And we also have specific rules. I mean that the community needs to follow and respect, etc. And so these are the core audience because we believe these are the people who are making things happen.
Okay.
The founder is obvious, are the entrepreneurs, the investors really obvious, the VCs, the angel investors, the family offices, and the operators are the people who are running also the companies, the CMOs, the CFOs. So we have this audience.
So you talked about automatically creating events.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? Do you have like partners, for example, with different restaurants and venues?
Yes.
And
Actually,
how do you manage the catering, for example, and all those things?
Yeah, actually, it's very simple. Just think of these micro gatherings of 10, 15 people. Is the same way that you're calling to a restaurant and you want to book a reservation for the next, 2 weeks from today, right? So we're using local APIs for now that we can automatically book or from Google. And we have a selected list of restaurants that we also like, and we want to bring these people there. And then we are introducing 10 different formats of events, including, for example, just share a few. One is called Doers Talks, where basically there's for 50 to 70 people, and we bring 2 different speakers. It's like a fireside chat. This is one of the formats. The other format is called Doers Pitch, where we bring like 5 partners of VC funds, and then we bring qualified startups to pitch, and then the audience can participate. And for all these events, there's also networking activities. These events of up to 100 people can fully be automated. And this is the beauty of it. You can book directly the venue, book directly the supplier. We have a list of qualified suppliers. And for now, the dinners and the breakfast and the lunches can be fully automated in any part of the city from today. So any city we can launch, we have the commute, we can do it. For the rest, we will need also some hosts. So we're creating a Doers host program in different cities with some benefits also from their side, revenue sharing, etc. And we're trying to scale also this bigger than 10, 15 people events in different cities.
So you talked about the AI and you said specific examples as well. So there's an actual use of AI, and it's not just a buzzword, for example, because people now are skeptical when they hear about AI powered, because everybody likes.
Definitely, we're not a deep tech company. We're using existing technologies like, for example, OpenAI. But at the same time, we are having our own model. We're training our model. We will be training. We're designing it now because we're launching actually in 2 weeks from today. And basically on the interactions of the users, the matches, etc., we can actually train that model, and force it to learn. And then as the more interactions we have, the smarter we'll become. Regarding the bookings and all this is
exactly.
It's technologies that are out there, so it's nothing like it's not rocket science. But I think the most valuable and differentiator of us, because technology nowadays, I believe in the next 3-4 years, you can press one button and literally you can build any product from Uber to our product. Okay?
Have you seen the launch of Claude 4 right now?
Yes, I've been experimenting as well with
It's insane.
Yes,
what you can.
Our technology, we're not building it with these no-code products. We have actually a full-time team of 4 engineers in-house in the Doers Company. And yes, and basically what I was saying.
Yeah, it was about the AI features of the Doers United platform. So it's an actual use of AI, and also the email introductions and how it decides where to connect people, how to organize these events.
Actually, what I was saying is not the value is not lies only in the technology; it lies in the community we have built already.
It's an enabler.
Yes, so we have thousands of people who engage with our brands, came to our events, we added value to them. So that's the one thing, and also is the fact that we have established events like Reflect Festival, and it's a great funnel to get all.
Talk to me more about that. So you have the events and the tech aspect. How can these two things coexist under the same umbrella, and how does each other feed each other?
Yes. So I mean, the events is the best platform, I think, to actually get doers on the app, because everything will be happening in our platform. Even if you want to just attend Reflect Fest and you want to buy a ticket, you need to download the app. And if you qualify, then we add you in our community. So it's like it's creating this value to each other. For example, the more events we do, more users will be on the platform, and more users we have on the platform, the more events we'll need to do. So it's kind of creating this reinforcing loop of between events and the community.
And you also you have at your events right now, you're partnering up with a third party for enabling the networking during the event, setting up meetings. Is that going to happen through the Doers United platform now?
No, we want to focus only on the discovery of new connections, but not in the maintenance. So we are collaborating with Cove for our events, and actually we are thinking how we can integrate also that in the platform. Doers United is a community that we bring the people also frequently, because I think networking is systematic at the same place, but at the right time, the right place, the right people, right? Through in real life experiences. Also, we're not having at the moment any chat system like in our app, because what our goal is to just bring the people in real life and discuss in real life. So that's what is our approach for time being. But how I see it, I mean, the Doers Company is also an entrepreneurial platform, right? So if we achieve to have this thriving community, we have our in real life experiences, we have the technology, the possibilities are endless, and our audience is very valuable. It's really valuable. And you have attended our events, you see who's attending our event.
Of course.
And we believe that we can create a lot of impact between our members, but also for our company as well. At the same time, we have partners and sponsors who are repeating year after year. We have around 90% retention rate of all our exhibitors and partners for every event we're doing, and we're around for 8 years now. So it means that actually we're supporting these partners. And actually these partners, they have, because we did also research, they have very big interest to our audience. I really believe in the future, targeting decision makers will not be online. Right now, Facebook ads, Google ads, right? And you don't even know who's exactly is that person. But we believe eventually companies will pay to target people in real life. If you asked me 5 years ago, I wouldn't say this, but now with the era of the AI in development, I believe in real life experience or companies who are bringing people in real life will skyrocket. And I think we're in the phase now that we're able to build something big.
So you mentioned that the Doers United app is launching in July. So where does it stand today? And what are the top priorities before launch?
Yes. So basically, whoever is interested also to participate, you can go on doersunited.com. You can apply already.
Okay.
You can register. Right now we have 100 users, which basically is our friends. And,
of course.
And close network. We're testing. We're improving. We already have a product that is working.
Okay.
But we need to make sure once we launch in July that everything is not perfect, but we can provide our what we promised to the users.
So it's a testing phase.
Yes, and we will unlock also the 60,000 plus emails. We have already people who attended our event, engaged with our brands in the past. So we're going to invite them. So we're going to invite the 60,000 people on the platform. And before, like a few months ago, we did our first pilot doer gatherings events. So what we did, we went to our existing CRM that we had back then, and we also have now, and we spotted people in different cities. So we hosted an event in Athens, Bratislava, Vienna, Prague, and Budapest. Okay, because we have a lot of audience coming from this region, also because my co-founder is from Slovakia. And actually, we did these events, also you can check it out in our social media, and we brought 15 different people in these events. And actually, we saw very big impact. We found there was one startup who raised money from these events, companies who are actually like found different customers. So we've seen that it works, and I don't need to prove it myself. I mean, everyone knows that
you've seen it.
Biggest deals are happening in real life. If you are selling, I don't know, like equipment for hospitals, you're gonna go to a conference a trade show. A trade show, I mean, and we want to bring more and more people in real life.
So you've seen the impact from these small events. Imagine what can happen if these small gatherings can be automated. So
I think the challenge
you are very excited
to track it. I mean, we're designing a way that actually we want to get feedback from the users. How was the experience, the impact, so we can measure this, because our vision is in the next few years to be able to have thousands and thousands of events. And what we call events, it's a gathering of 3 people is still an event, right? So we have these thousands and thousands of events globally and creating impact for these people. And why we believe it will work, because these people will be qualified, which is really important. We have the technology using the data and the AI to bring them the right place at the right time, you know? And we all know that everyone wants to meet in real life. And the worst case, if you go for a dinner with 5 different people and nothing happens, I mean, you went out, you had your dinner, you have new connections. So yes, and this is for the platform for people who are actually want to network, and we're assisting in the networking process. And it's very specific the way we're setting up also the experience of networking, because even at events, if you're not good networker, you will have some difficulty to go and speak to people where there's a lot of buzz and it's quite difficult. But when you go to a dinner of 5, 6, 7 individuals, it's much easier to talk, meet, connect, and then follow up later. So
that's true. So in our materials, like on the campaign page and stuff like that, you talk a lot about the regional, the geographical aspect of Europe, Southeastern Europe, Middle East, and Africa. But your current events are in Cyprus and Athens, Greece. So how does Middle East and Africa come into the play?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
you already talked about the new event in Middle East.
Yes, exactly. We're doing an event in Middle East. We have seen a lot of people coming from Africa, actually, mainly from Egypt to Cyprus, because also of the location. We are focusing in this region because we're established there, but eventually with our community, we want to go global. This is the proof of concept, this region, Central, Eastern Europe, Middle East, and a bit of Africa, I'll say. But then we want to go global, and within the next 3 years, once we grow the community here, we want to go to one of the biggest markets, which is US, and we believe that can be a very big multiplier for our company.
Cool. So now let's get to the important thing.
Yes.
Let's say I just invested 1,000 euros in the Doers Company, which I did.
Thank you.
So what are my realistic paths to generating a financial return? And then we'll get back to besides the financial aspect.
Yes, sure. I mean, like our goal is to make this company like a multiple of this current valuation. Usually investors in startups and ventures, they're expecting the exit. In our case, I think our main priority is not the exit, but is to build a very profitable business. I mean, right now we're at 1.2 million revenue. This year will be like around 2 million. Our goal is to build 100 million plus revenue company, and I believe we can do that. So the first part is to reach profitability. And if we reach profitability, then we want also to reward our investors with dividends. So that's our first priority. And both of the products, the events business plus the Doers United, can actually will be revenue-led products.
How do you make money from the Doers United?
Yes, the Doers United, it's a freemium, so you can interact for free. And then if you want to attend more events, more connections, more time with our super connector, etc., then you pay a subscription starting from €20. And at the same time, if you have the subscription, you get significant discounts in our bigger events. So this is our model. For now, it's not our priority. For now, we want to build a product, prove the concept, but we want to build a profitable company. So this is our main priority. And eventually, when we do that, I believe we can return your investment, still be not just an investor, a shareholder, a community member. So that's the monetary return. At the same time, if we ever have the opportunity of exit and actually aligns with the interests of our shareholders, we could do it. The way we structure it, we have the events business, but also the technology. So can be sold one of those or both of them. And we see big groups that they have multiple of event brands globally.
Okay.
Billion-dollar companies listed in NASDAQ, for example.
Do you have some examples?
For example, one well-known is Informa. It's a very big company. They're owners of Money 2020 and multiple different brands globally. We've seen recently the Financial Times acquiring the Next Web in Amsterdam. So the exit, I think, for the events will be interesting for companies who don't have the reach or the access to the markets that we're operating, like, for example, now in the Middle East, like our region. But at the same time, the more events we do and we build a portfolio of events, it makes sense for a company to acquire and get our revenue,
of course,
and multiply also their own value. That's the one thing. Also the technology. I think a lot of companies will be interested for our community, because I believe in the future, community-driven companies will be the most valuable companies. So I think there's also exit opportunities, but it's not our priority, as I told you. But as a shareholder of the Doers Company, you also have other benefits that I believe will be also monetary, but not directly from the company itself. For our investors, let's say the 100, 150, 200 investors that will participate, this will be in the front line of our community, right? These are the people who supported us, so they will have also exclusive access to all of our events, lifetime subscriptions in our community, etc.
Yesterday we were talking on the phone, and we were discussing a little bit about this, and I told you are investors, and you corrected me. You said they are owners.
Yes.
So how do you think about these investors?
They own a part of our company, and also they can help us, I believe, to the vision. And I've seen also the list. We have very, very interesting individuals. And I believe, I've seen it with just people coming to our events. Within this community, I believe you can make a lot of business deals. If you're a founder, if you're an operator, that, maybe you have seen also as Crowdbase, maybe you can share your experience of Reflect. And I believe can also have monetary returns just from the access to this community. Also, we're giving some interesting perks to our shareholders, like special badges for our events that they're part of the company, etc. But these people are the people who will be with us in the front line, and we have the exclusive access to everything that we're doing.
So in terms of the crowd-based experience, I think the first one we attended was the 2021 event. Since then, we've been attending every year, at least for us at Crowd-based, because our job is to connect innovative startups and founders with investors, and this is precisely the target audience at the event. So it sits perfectly for us, because every year we hear what's coming up, the new opportunities, the new startups that are coming up, but also we meet in different kinds of investors, not only small investors, retail investors, but also angel investors. We meet family offices, we meet VCs. So for us at Crowdbase, it provides excellent value. So let's go back to the returns, to the potential returns to the investors. So you talked about focusing on building a profitable business, which can eventually provide dividends. That's quite easy for someone to understand. And also there could be potential exit avenues with the events business and the tech platform. Both can be sold either together or separately, because there are potential buyers that could be interested in each one of these. So this is the financial return, and I can understand
Yeah.
it. So what's besides the financial? So you mentioned some perks. So for example, I think when people invest 300 euros in the campaign, they get a free ticket for the next Reflect Festival, for example, and there are more perks around that. But is there anything more than the perks?
Yes,
as an owner of the Doers Company.
Yeah, like as I told you, like these investors are also the most supportive for us. I mean, community members, and also want to give back to that, right? One thing, for example, we're doing, we will be hosting one annual shareholders event, and we create quite nice experiences as events where this will bring all the investors together, plus other valuable network of partners. So we're trying, and also me personally, everyone who will invest will support them and help them to get value independently from the monetary value of from the returns of the investment, right? So I think access to the right people is very valuable. We have built this community, we have it, and also we know how to grow it. Also myself, I've been building communities since the early days from Hard Cyprus, which was an online community, then Reflect and Doers Company and Doers United, Tech Island. I initiated the Tech Island, which is a thriving community here on the island. And from the other side, my co-founder Dusan, he has built the local ecosystem in Slovakia, in Bratislava, with multiple co-working spaces and a very strong community of 3,000 members, similar to what Tech Island is doing here. So we understand the value of community, we understand how we can give value, and we're here for the long term, right? I mean, we have been doing this for 8 years, and so far we have been connecting the dots, and we're without any returns, and we're never like brokers, right? We never want to go into that business. We want to go to the value-driven business, add value to our members. And I believe with Doers United, it's an affordable way. It's a shortcut to get to the right people in real life and create impact, right? There's a very limited...
Even from a very small ticket.
Yes, exactly. So, yes, and this will support us. And the reason we're fundraising, we have always been kind of not profit-driven. Always we're investing everything. And that's why I believe the event has been grown. You know, as I told you, have been doubling the revenue, but we have been doubling also the quality of the events and everything. So right now we have built the business. It's very difficult to generate revenue, right? Any company. The fact that we generated not a lot, but it's 1.2 million revenue. We already have proven that companies trust us. People want to attend our events, and now it's time to actually scale this. And we believe also with our community product, we can create recurring revenue, which is very important, also attractive for investors.
So, Styliane, you've built so many things, and you continue building, and you have aspirations of building much more. What keeps you driving through the chaos?
Yeah, I think entrepreneurs, we just like, I call it a game, to play the game. It's an infinite game. There is no end, there's no winner, there's no loser. And I believe it's the only game that everyone wins. Because, for example, we're building this company, we're winning personally, the community wins, the members win, the country wins. So I believe this is a beauty of entrepreneurship. This wealth is distributed. And in contrary with politics, for example, there's a winner and there's a loser. And sometimes is not helping even the community or the country.
I think the big difference is that entrepreneurship and business is not a zero-sum game.
Exactly.
This is a difference with...
Definitely a positive sum game. You're playing football, you know that there's winner, there's a loser, which is fun, it's nice. But I feel that everything that I'm doing, everyone is winning. My team, our investors, our partners, right? And my personal drive, I mean, it also started supporting my own country. I always loved my country, whatever I do, even from the listed buildings investments. I have also this motivation to make our country better. And I remember when I was graduate, my ambition in my yearbook, it was I want to change the world. And if I fail, at least to change my small corner of it. And this small corner of my world is Cyprus. I'm very intrinsically motivated to support our country. And
I've heard to talk many times about that, about your interest in helping your country, and not only your country, also your city in Limassol.
Yeah.
Where does it stem from? Like, where did it come from? Where was it born? This feeling that you want to help your country.
I think maybe it starts from the childhood. I mean, as a family, we've been very supportive to each other. And I realized that your community, like, you need to take care of it. I mean, it's our own responsibility to take care of our community, because if you don't have a thriving community, you're part of it. You will fail. Especially when we started here in Cyprus without having other successful entrepreneurs, other success stories. I'm nothing. Our company is nothing. You know, like, and I want, to encourage even more people to become entrepreneurs. Okay, but also if you're not business owner or you start your own venture, being an operator with entrepreneurial mindset, which I think you have it, it actually can support the community. And it's all about having this entrepreneurial ecosystem. And we need more of people in that. Also, we need more educated investors. And I think what you're doing with Cloudbase is amazing, because anyone can invest with €100. It starts. Also, I did my first investments in Crowdbase, and actually, it's very interesting to have my portfolio there.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and it's and I really like the whole process of doing it. Also, study the company,
the low entry barrier.
Yes, and I think every one of us, we need to do things that can add value to the community, because we need to understand how valuable it is to have a strong community.
Everybody wants.
And you become the people that you're surrounded with. So you need strong people around you. So
what does success mean for you? Not as a company, but for you, Stylianos, personally. What does it look like? Is it like a short-term thing, a long-term?
Success again is like,
how do you
has
define
an end, right? Like, to be successful is like, it's an end. I don't believe that
I succeeded.
I don't believe. Like, you succeeded, but even if you want to see any returns, let's say, you need to think in decades, to work in decades. Personally, I started my journey like 15, 17 years ago. I saw some kind of success like after 10 years, right? So the most important success, I believe, firstly, is to be healthy, because one good friend of mine once told me that if health is the number one, and then your business success is 1 0 next to 1, wealth 1 more 0, 0 0 0, you end up with, let's say, billion. But if you lose the number one, you're nothing, right?
Interesting.
And I've been also in my personal journey of investing in longevity, in wellness. I've been very stressed. It was very stressful for me the past few years. I neglected myself many times, and 1 year ago took the decision to actually start working out consistently, eat better, etc. And actually, I feel that this can help me to be also more creative, and it has very good return also on myself, my performance, and I'm measuring everything.
Nice.
And and actually, I believe people who are in the founder position or in CEO position, you need to be very healthy, because there's a lot of stress involved, and your performance is determined on your biological
capabilities.
And as our ancient Greeks ancestors said, first you need to have a healthy body, and then you have a healthy mind. So this is the health. The health is the most important, but also mentally. So it's really important to also pause. I don't believe in the hustle culture. I believe in less input, more output. I think sometimes you might invest so much time in one thing, but might be the wrong thing. And I'm all about doing. But as I grow older, I realize that sometimes you need to pause, reflect, search, do a bit more searching, find the right thing. And once you find that this is the right thing, with the risks, of course, then put all of your energy, right? So we need to do that. And going back to success, I think you need to be happy with yourself. So with your family, with your health. And for me, bigger success eventually is to give back. And in my holding company, our logo has 3 H's. One stands for the head, which symbolizes our logical decisions, our knowledge. The second H is the heart, because I believe a lot of decisions are driven by the heart, by your intuition.
Yeah.
And the third H is the hand. And the hand is the one that gives back.
Okay.
And I believe if there's anything, any business I will do without giving back, I will not even start it. Even if it is more lucrative business, most profitable, if there's no the element of impact, I'm not driven by it. And I think in all of my ventures, including the Doers Company, what we do, we give back. And this is my biggest driver.
Nice.
I think this is success in the end of the day.
Yeah. Stylianos, it has been an amazing conversation. Thank you very much. Is there anything to say to investors that are still considering whether to invest in the Doers Company? Is there something that we didn't cover that you would like to share?
Sure. I mean, any investment comes with a cost. There's hundreds of reasons why you shouldn't invest, not only in us, in any company. There are a lot of opportunities around. You need to believe it. You need to believe to the people. We have really good team, like we built throughout the years. You need to believe in this vision. Always the odds are against us. We might fail, we know it, but we have quite good stamina, I would say, to make it happen. We'll never stop until we build this into 100 million plus revenue company in the next decade. That's our plan. And if you believe it, take your bet, and I'm sure your returns will come one way or another.
All right. Thank you very much, Stylianos.
Thank you. Thank you, Anagut.